Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Profitable Coaching Conversation Show with WendyY Bailey. I am indeed WendyY Bailey, and I appreciate you taking time to tune in with me on the live stream. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on LinkedIn. So on YouTube, you can catch me on my Profitable Coaching Conversations channel. You can also catch me on my WendyY Bailey channel. On Facebook, I'm on my profile, my Facebook page, and two Facebook groups. And on LinkedIn, I'm on my primary profile. I don't have another page or profile, but it is my LinkedIn profile where you are catching me. This is a show, a live stream that I do Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I try not to go longer than between 20 and 30 minutes. Every now and then I kind of get caught up in sharing content and I go a little bit longer than that. But you can catch me Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, wherever you're watching it right now. If you're here or if you're on the replay, be sure to let me know that you were watching me on the replay or say hello to me here, because I would love to see you and know that you are watching and tuning in and you're finding value from what I'm sharing. Today, I'm going to be talking about how you can really leverage risk to accelerate growth in your coaching business. It's kind of a woo-woo concept, but it's also practical in nature. So definitely stick around for the content I'm going to be sharing. There are two business models from my own digital mentors that I want to share today. And I think it'll really make a difference for you. I have a resource that I'm going to give you. I don't have it physically in my hand. I was hoping I would have it in my hand, but it's by example that I'm going to share with you. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm WendyY Bailey. I'm a 20 plus year veteran. It'll be 21 years in June that I've been in my business as a coach in the industry. So I've been a full-time coach from day one. I like to say I was voted off the island from my corporate management position. I found my way to coaching and I've never looked back. This is where I belong. This is business number 4 for me. It is the last business I see myself having. I'm here. Anytime I think of doing something different, I find my way back to this because I really do feel like coaching is a calling for me. I'm really gifted at it. As one of my mentor coaches used to say, I'm masterful, right? And so I feel like I have a great sense of timing and training that allows me to really serve my clients in a really big way. And I love that. Like, I love that. The topic for today is all about risk. So one of my digital mentors I want to mention to you is Rhonda Britton. And Rhonda Britton has written a number of books. I initially found out about Rhonda. Hello, welcome. Glad you're here. Be sure that you let me know who you are in the comments, that you are here and you're tuning in and you're watching. Say hi. But I found out about Rhonda Britton because a friend and colleague said, have you been watching this show called Starting Over? And it was a show that was done in syndication. And the premise for the show was they identified, I think it was 6 women, and they brought them to a specific house they called the Starting Over house. And like reality TV, they all came with, each of them came with their own challenges. And so the coaches, there were 2, Rhonda was one of the 2, and the coaches who were there helped them work through exercises and challenges and challenge them and champion them so that when they got ready to leave the Starting Over house, I want to say it was like 6 or 8 weeks or something, they were equipped with a lot. The thing I loved about the show itself is Starting Over was the first show where you got a taste of what coaching was really like. It went on for, I want to say, 2 or 3 seasons. The second season, Rhonda was the coach, and then Iyanla Van Sant was the other coach, right? So there were still 2 coaches, but they changed out the first season's coach with Iyanla Van Sant. And so I found out about Rhonda there, and Rhonda is really the creator of this phenomenon that is fearless living. Right. She wrote a book about fearless living. She wrote another book about fearless loving. She wrote a book about change your life in 30 days. And so the model that I want to base what I talk to you today about is really that change your life in 30-day model. And here's the way it looks. And again, this is from Rhonda Britton. Her book is Change Your Life in 30 Days. And it's just so phenomenal. The thing I want you to know is Les Brown says, Everything you want is on the other side of your comfort zone. It's on the outside of your comfort zone. So think of that as I'm sharing this model, because it is so powerful when you really think about it. So on a piece of paper, I want you to draw a circle, right? Make it so that you can write something in the center of it. Then just outside of that, make another circle. Just outside of that, make another circle. And just outside of that, make another circle, so that you've actually got a bullseye, right? You've got a center circle, another circle outside of that, another one, and another one, right? In the first circle, I want you to write the two words comfort zone. And let me just say that I've been using this model for years, because it really helps you gain a perspective of where you are. Comfort zone is in the center. The circle outside of that, what you're going to write is stretch. Stretch, STRETCH. The circle outside of that, you're going to write the word risk, risk, RISK. And then outside of that, you're going to, in that circle, the last one, you're going to write the word die, DIE. So let me explain it to you the WendyY way, right? The way that I use it with my clients. Think of your comfort zone as that familiar space, that place that you feel confident in, that place that you're familiar with. It feels warm and cozy. And whenever you're in your comfort zone, you feel safe, right? So things in your comfort zone are things that you're accustomed to doing every single day. It may be your routines, it may be your way of thinking. All of those things belong in your comfort zone, especially if there's something you decide to stay in, right? You rest there because you feel safe in that. That stretch ring, that stretch circle just outside of that comfort zone is where you start to feel a little uncomfortable. You start to do something really different. It's unfamiliar to you, it's uncertain. So you feel a little bit of fear around it, right? It's just a stretch, but you still feel whatever that emotion is around the stretch, because it's outside of your comfort zone. Then the next ring is the risk area. The risk is where you say, okay, I'm going to risk this, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to be really scary. I'm going to do something uncertain and unknown and different, but I'm still going to do it. But I know there's a risk associated with it, right? And then the last circle where you wrote the word die is where you are like, oh my gosh, if I do this, I just know I'm going to die. Think of the things that you may do if you think, oh, I can't be a public speaker because, right? I'm afraid. Or I can't get up in front of people and teach because I'm afraid. It's so uncomfortable. I just really think I'll die if I do that. And what's cool about the model as you see it, the more you step outside of your comfort zone to to stretch, to do things that are unfamiliar, uncertain, uncomfortable, to risk, stretch, then risk, the things that you risk, where you risk your, what feels like your own safety, right? What feels like something so foreign to you that it's super scary, right? The more you risk, the more you do those things that you die from, you think you're going to die from, only to learn that you don't die from them. That's that really, really, really scary place, right? Your comfort zone expands, it grows, it gets bigger. So, the challenge I want you guys to think about when you talk about accelerating your growth, accelerating your income, elevating your business, your coaching, elevating your clients. I see all kinds of risk, stretch behaviors, and even die things. The more you do that, your comfort zone grows. Okay, I see it with coaches all the time. The thing that I want you to understand is without risk, there is no reward. Without risk, write it down. It's not an original WendyY quote. Without risk, there is no reward. So the more you take on the mantle of growing outside of your comfort zone, stretching, doing things that stretch you, the more you risk doing things that you may not do. I remember years ago, in my very first couple of years in my coaching business, there was a big name. I won't name the person, but there was a big name coach. And I was like, wow, I've put together this platform and I really want to connect with them. I want them to, support it, endorse it. I know that I can offer this person something that's going to help them. And so it was a big stretch and risk thing for me to literally reach out to that person. Again, big name person. I won't name them, but I kind of introduced myself. I said, I've been part of your tribe. I kind of see the work that you're doing. I feel like what I'm doing is in alignment with that. And I would love for us to somehow talk about and possibly partner. This platform that I built can be something that, you can leverage in what you do. And I got a response back, and it was rejection, right? I risked a lot to reach out to this well-known person to say, I think I have something and I think we can work together, not knowing how this person would respond. And again, they responded, it was a rejection, and it felt like rejection too. But what I learned is when you risk and you do something or you say something that is new and different, it's uncertain, there's an unknown component to it, and you do it, you assume the risk, you know what's at stake. But when you encounter whatever the response is, particularly if it's rejection, what happens is it grows your muscle around risk, right? It grows your muscle around risk. In more than 20 years, I've become a really big risk taker, right? It doesn't mean that over the years I've just done stuff and without thinking about it. It means that I've examined whatever the action is, and based on whatever that action is, I've taken a step that really speaks to the level of risk that I'm willing to take. And I'm prepared for either response, right? I'm prepared for this is yes, I want to move forward, I want to go forward, I want to do this, or it's no, it's not something I'm interested in. I kind of liken it to sales. When you enter into a sales conversation, and you may call it a discovery session, a strategy call, whatever you call your initial coaching session, where you're giving people an opportunity to get to know you, you're actually adding value to whatever they're doing and how showing how you can support them as a coach, that's a sales call. So you have to orchestrate that sales call in a way that speaks to what you can do and how you can do it. It's a risk for you to, first of all, open your calendar to do that, right? Because you don't know who's going to show up, and if they're who's going to book it and who's going to actually show up. That's the first part of it. Then you don't always know, based on who's coming to the call, who you're talking with. It may be somebody you already know. I've offered complimentary sessions to people that I know. I think that's an ideal for what you should do when you're entering into sales conversations. Maybe they know you from your being on your email list. Maybe they know you because they've been on some of your calls, or they've been part of a program that you delivered, or whatever the case is, they're your social media friend, whatever it is. You need to have some sort of awareness of who they are. But once you step into that sales event, that discovery session, that strategy call, whatever you're calling it, that sales call, you need to understand there's a fair amount of risk associated with that. There's risk, first of all, that you are not in rapport with the person, and you can do what you can to get in rapport with the person on those calls. That's one of those strategies that I try to teach people about sales calls. You've got to be in rapport with the person that you're looking to spend money with you, right? You want to invite them to spend money with you. So you've got to know their ability to do it. You've got to, orchestrate it in a way that they have a sense of the kind of value you can provide. Okay. So the second aspect, when you step into that discovery session, that strategy call, whatever you call that initial consultation, you need to, you're assuming additional risk because you don't want to give away the farm, right? That is a sample of what you can offer. That is a little taste of value that you can bring to the person who's with you in that consultation or in that call, right? You need to understand what that looks like. You need to understand what that means so that you assume the risk and you know that you're orchestrating that call, right? It's not one of those, oh, well, you bring up another question, let me answer that question, and we get into something else. That's not the picture that I want you to paint around that initial consultation, that discovery session, that strategy call. When you're in that orchestrated sales event, because that's really what it is, you've got to be the one that manages your time and the kind of value that you offer. I tell people all the time, coaches in particular, if you are talking for more than an hour in that strategy call, you have lost the sale. If you're talking, your risk has gone far beyond just risk and you've given away the farm. When you're in that session, and I've gotten, so I don't do complimentary sessions anymore. What I tend to do are 15-minute chats. That's really all it is. It's a chat that helps me identify if they need to be into a strategy call or discovery session. And I charge for those discovery sessions and strategy calls, right? And I charge because my commitment, and this is a risk, my commitment to the person who books that, they pay for it, they book it, is I'm going to make sure they walk away with at least 3 strategies that they can put into action in their businesses right away. I have that depth of experience. I know how to do that, right? What I want you to understand is you're risking giving away too much if you haven't orchestrated what that call looks like, right? And I have a whole product that includes how you orchestrate. But when you are in that discovery session, that's the first risk. The first risk is you need to be sure that they understand the value you're bringing, right? So you need to be in rapport with them. The second thing is you need to be able to orchestrate that sales call in a way that says, let me make sure I'm giving you like a picture of the lay of the land. And so when I invite you to work with me, you understand the value you're going to get. You understand how my coaching works. You are committed to the chemistry that we have, and you want to move forward. There's a risk associated with all of that because there's a measure of transparency and vulnerability that comes with you sort of opening the doors to your coaching to entertain and invite new clients, right? And let's take a look at the flip side of that, right? The flip side is your potential client is risking as well by being there because they have to be vulnerable. They have to show up transparent. They even have to show up to talk about money if that's an issue. And there's another risk associated with both of you to talk about money. But remember, the more you step outside of your comfort zone and do things that challenge you to stretch, to risk more, to do those things that you think you may die from, knowing that you don't die from them, you actually learn, you grow, it's going to be acceleration all the way around. It's acceleration in your mindset. It's acceleration in your finances. It's acceleration in your clients. All of that comes with risk. The other thing that I want to share with you before I close out for today is, again, I don't have the book in front of me, but Shonda Rhimes a couple of years ago wrote a book called My Year of Yes, The Year of Yes. Okay. And it's a great book because what she did is for a year, she challenged herself to say yes to things she normally would have said no to. Right. And in the process of that, it opened up a whole different world for her. And it grew her business exponentially. It grew her, connection and contact and authority in the marketplace in television and television production. It was exponential growth for that as well. So here's what I want you to gain from the Year of Yes and the risk model from Rhonda Britton I just gave you. I want you to begin to think about the areas outside of your comfort zone that you can test, you can begin to try, and challenge yourself whenever you're faced with an opportunity to kind of ask yourself, where is this opportunity? Is it a stretch opportunity? Is it a risk opportunity? Is it a die opportunity? So that then you can gauge how much you're risking. Then you can gauge what you're willing to put in, what kind of stake you have in the whole situation. Be sure that you're using the model that I gave you, that bullseye, to ask yourself, where is this? And is this something I'm willing to do? And if it's not something you're willing to do, ask yourself, what is it that you need to have happen that will help you to move into that stretch area more with that particular opportunity? What is it that you can ask yourself or challenge yourself, or what kind of support will give you a level of comfort that moves your comfort zone beyond stretch or beyond risk, or moves you into things that you think you would die from. I was having a conversation, and if you've read my profile across my social media, you know that I have added a new service to what I offer. I'm now offering fractional COO, or Chief Operating Officer, role for seven-figure coaching businesses and consulting businesses as well. And that came about because I reached out and I asked a question of someone who was a previous client. And we started talking, and for years she said, I would really like for you to come and run my company. She said that for years, and for years I've been like, no, 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 no. And this time I was open to it because I said, okay, what am I risking? What This is outside of my comfort zone. Parts of it are not, because I build infrastructure and guide my clients and coach my clients on that every day. But there are aspects of it that are reminiscent of working for a corporation, and that's not pretty for me. That's a risk for me to work for a corporation. But the cool thing about it is we were able to come together. I asked myself, like, where is this, and what do I need to really feel like I'm stretching and risking, and this is something that I feel like I might die from. But I have a different perspective about what die looks like for me these days. So I was able to say yes. And based on saying yes, I just think we're having a great time. I'm making an impact in their business. I see that it's really serving them well. And now I kind of have a model for how I can duplicate this with other seven-figure coaching and consulting businesses. That's the beauty of growth. That's the beauty of risk. Maturity has a lot to do with it, but you've also got to put yourself in situations that challenge you, right? Then you can build out the support system you need around you to actually move through that with great success. That's the beauty of risk. But if you want to accelerate your business, and here's how I like to say it: if you want to elevate your business, if you want to accelerate your client base, if you want to accelerate your income, then you've got to risk in order to do that, right? Risk is the secret sauce for everything, right? Risk is how you begin to do that. The more you risk, the more your comfort zone grows. The more you risk, the more confident you become in areas that you used to be fearful of, or feel a level of discomfort and uncertainty about. So risk is really the secret sauce for your growth. So I hope this has been helpful for you when you talk about risk. If you have any questions, be sure that you post your questions. Let me know that you watch the replay as well. I go back on all the platforms just to make sure I didn't miss any comments. If you say something, I'm going to, say hello to you. I'm going to thank you for tuning in. I'm going to acknowledge that you said something. I'm doing that personally, not somebody from my team. So it's a great opportunity for you to connect. And if you have questions or want to add value in some way, you can share that as well. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about how to boost your client attraction factor. A lot of people are talking about client attraction. I kind of have a little bit of a different take on it that I'm going to share, and then I'm going to tell you how you can begin to grow that, how you can begin to boost that. As a reminder, this is, and let me just show that first. This is a preview to my upcoming masterclass series. And the masterclass series is really designed to be a sampling of my body of work, right? It's designed to help you see and know with great clarity what you can experience working with me. Okay, so the masterclass series is where you can learn that. You can go to elevatewithwendy.com. It's coming up in just a couple of weeks, and you can sign up for that masterclass series. It's 3 consecutive 90-minute masterclasses. And I've got some other surprises too. It includes hot seats. I'm going to be doing some giveaways. So it's a great opportunity for you to be part of the learning that I'm going to be sharing. Is high value. I've ensured that I'm pouring a lot of value into it. It's not water hose value, like you're going to feel like you're overwhelmed. But it is intended to help you with a deep dive all around elevating your coaching business with the blueprint that I offer. So definitely go to elevatewithwendyy.com and you'll see more of what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow when I talk about the client attraction factor and how you boost that. Once again, I am streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I thank you guys so much for being here. If you are so inclined, I would love to support you in a group of like-minded folks on Facebook at the Profitable Coaching Society. You can go to profitablecoachingsociety.com and that will direct you to the specific group on Facebook. Thanks everybody for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. Take care. Bye.